play a new game today, and I'm at the medical city because my boyfriend went to the ER, and I don't think he's gonna be there for long. So let's play. So this game is called Don't Eat the Cashier, and I feel like this game is gonna be long. So this is a new game. I'm not playing Roblox or Minecraft. This is a very new game for me. So let's start. I'm going to be she, her. Type 2. My name is Lynn. Oh my god, you guys don't know my real name, but it's Lynn. Sometimes I really wonder, how did I end up here? Not that I dreamed of a career in as a neurosurgeon or an astronaut, but for crying out loud, working at a gas station, on the other hand, money is money. I send out resumes to every conceivable and inconceivable place, applying for every position where I could somehow use my degree in art. Zero responses. I had to swallow my pride and find at least something. Human organism wanted for you for work at gas station. Organisms duties. Organisms? This is definitely not made by a human. Because what do you mean? Organisms' duties include selling food for mouth, silence and obedience. Oh, alright. Household task, obeying those who are more Asian. Friendly team offers, new and old faces of friends, long and different life, consumption of nourishment, juicy juices, trips to human places. I found this note stuck to the glass of the bus stop. Food for mouth? Seriously? This guy's got a style of his own. Apparently, the manager is just an eccentric dude, or is this their new marketing tactic to grab attention? Whatever, people often told me that I have many quirks too, and that's even if they haven't seen my fursuit. Fursuit? Well, whatever, as long as he's not a complete jerk, will hit on me or make me scrub the floors with a toothbrush. Oof. Wow. I didn't scream, I couldn't move. My brain feverishly tried to find a category for this in its database. Hallucination, psychosis, too many energy drinks, a typical middle manager. The monster from my nightmare stirred. Its tentacles crept closer to the counter. Wait, I'm gonna post this on my Instagram. Sorry. Wait a minute. I'm gonna post this on my Instagram, sorry. My god. The creature made a sound, not from a mouth, it had none. The sound emanated from deep within its bulk hollow, profound bone shaking. Greetings, organism. I am Bob, the indescribable and terrifying consumer of worlds, but you, grain of sand, may call me Manager Bob. No, no. This isn't real. I'm dreaming. I need to wake up. You will sell food for mouths and obey me, for I am Asian. Memorize the rules of this establishment, for my patience is as limited as the salary I offer you. Rule number one, you sell, no matter what. Chicken food for the mouth, gremlin fuel, noodles made from cursed souls, lottery tickets for extra limb raffles, discount roll, rot, rit- ritual foil, everything must be sold. Okay, guys, I took off my mask, whatever. He points directly at me with that creepy, slimy tentacle. Every miserable unit of currency brings me closer to my triumphant exit from this pitiful hole. I pinched myself but didn't wake up. Rule number two, be polite to customers. Ignore bald spots in werewolf fur and watch out for drafts when plasmic, energetic entities are in the store. What? But don't let them get too bold. Customers are just walking containers for currency, and they should only pay in monetary units. Payments in existential dread or hair of the dead is not accepted. Many of them come here just to chat because they are idle and purposeless organisms. Your task is to make them part with their currency anyway. It is also your duty to heal organisms if they are injured using special kits. If they die, they can't give away currency. What was with entities, or what the hell are you anyway? CVD, so you're an activist? Okay. Aha! Seems like all the jars with mysterious content started to shake because of my despair. At last, a human being who knows the proper greeting protocol. Your vocal outburst demonstrates a high level of respect for the hierarchy. Your predecessor, Kevin, just mumbled and unsanctionedly exerted tear fluids. He was an introvert. Werewolves and ectoplasmic entities are just a few examples of the many insignificant life forms that frequent this establishment. What unites them is that they are all slaves to consumption, just like your kind. As for my nature, I am your immediate supervisor and the guarantor of your future financial prosperity. Wow. I'm a I'm at a gas station for monsters. I got a job with Strutlo for minimum wage. This is all you need to know. That really is all I need to know. If you're any more logic, you're truly driving insane. For the first time, something resembling approval flickered across Bob's many-eyed face. A rare and unexpected display of the grains of wisdom that have not yet left the human species. Embrace your ignorance, let it become your shield and a direct path to the status of Human Employee of the Month. A cash bonus of 25 cents? Bro, what the hell? I understand that you, human, are already extremely excited about this, but that's not all. You will also have access to the elite manager's restroom for one full cycle. During its use, there is only a 7% chance that you will be transported to a dimension of endless pain, suffering an unimaginable tournament. What the hell? Truly generous. He suddenly places a jar in front of me on the counter. And the last rule, remember, organism, this tip container must be filled with money by the end of your wake cycle. If the bottom of the jar is visible, you will clean the sanitary rooms with this object in the dimension of absolute horrors and suffering for 2,510 years. I couldn't take my eyes off the fork. The potential tool of my eternal servitude. At this moment, my mind fully capitulated. Yes, I was hired by a multi-eyed cosmic architect squid. Yes, my clients will be non-humans. Yes, I'm being threatened with a fork and eternal toilet cleaning. How could anyone clean anything with a fork? The same will happen if you even think of escaping before the end of your work contract. My ocular sensorium perceives the subtlest of matters. It will detect you in any corner of this pitiful planetary sphere. Okay, guys, there's no more people left at my place. Will they kick me out? No. Crap, I'm stuck here. I'm in a trap. Do you understand, organism? If I said the other one, he'll probably add more years, bro. I don't want more years. Goodbye, organism. Good luck with your currency acquisition and button pressing. I point at the sticky buttons on the vending machine. Bob's central eye looks at my finger and then at the machine and back at my face. The creature sighs. A tentacle exceeds from his body with torturous slowness. With the drama of a pianist playing the last tragic note, the tip of the tentacle presses down. Click. Bob waits expectantly. Got it. Your capacity for learning is phenomenal. This concludes the briefing. You've shown a tendency toward excessive vocalization, so I'll give you a warning. Do not raise your voice at visitors unless they like it. He didn't turn around as a human would. His tentacles simply shifted his entire mass in another direction with a soft gurgling sound, and he waddled across the linoleum. Finally, he left me alone. The silence at the gas station was broken only by the hum of the refrigerators containing juicy juices and the buzzing of the neon lamp above my head. I stood in the same spot, as if rooted to the ground. My breath returned to me in a sharp, uneven gasp. My hands were shaking. The tip jar, which I needed to fill to avoid ending up in a dimension of ancient horrors, still stood proudly on the counter. Okay, so what just happened? Option 1. I've gone insane. That's the most logical conclusion. Prolonged stress from job hunting, malnutrition, nerves, anxiety, a disrupted sleep schedule. My brain just malfunctioned. Yep, that's it. I'm going to wake up on my couch in my dingy rented apartment. I pinched myself again, and nothing. I scanned the room once more. It smelled of gasoline and old coffee. It was still absurdly real, and that meant everything he said. It was all true. Werewolves, vampires, tips, the fork. A hysterical mix of laughter and a scream of terror welled up in my throat, but I held it back. I needed to get through this. I needed to. Oh no, don't tell me that's the first customer. Bells? What the hell? Oh, shit. Where the hell did this clown come from? It took great effort not to look away from those red eyes burning in the pitch black darkness. Is he amused? Is he wondering if I'm tasty? Bob didn't exactly give any guarantees that I wouldn't get devoured at work. My brain, still recovering from the encounter with Bob, was frantically trying to figure out how to break this ringing silence. You can't just appear with the sound of a creepy piano, sir. Okay, that's not really a good response. Isn't it strange that I work at this gas station for a couple of bucks, yet you're the one who wears the jester's hat? Okay, that's insulting. What the hell? Why would I say that? Good evening, sir. What would you like to purchase? Please don't eat me. I'm the miserable cashier. Okay. Obviously, I'm gonna be professional on my first time, bro. Purchase? I would like to purchase your attention. Oh my god, he did the fucking yandere pose. What the hell? Hello? Hello? Hi. Hello, what's your name? Okay. No, that isn't in the choices. Exactly. I suppose that's free. It's sort of included in the service package. I suppose it's free, but only for you. Bitch. You're lucky, esteemed sir. My attention is on sale today. I'm not sure that's on the sales list. However, there's plenty of other things. So, okay. Let's try act. Try acting hard to get, guys. Ah, yes, that's why I'm here. Another corner of the universe. Amazingly, people live here too, and they trade as well. Yet, well, there's nothing to be surprised of if you think about it. I expected something more interesting. At least a world of lizards and ancient descendants from Hyperborea battling them. My god, another crazy person with a strange way of speaking, and it seems he's in the mood for a chat. So, what is a beautiful, charming lady like you doing in such a dreadful, dirty island of misfortune? Thank you. You have a way with your words. Okay. Or rather, what is a place like this doing with such a charming lady as you? Oh, don't flatter me so much. Like, what the hell? Oh, wait. Where are my manners? I suppose I must introduce myself. I have many names, most of which are not fit to be spoken in the company of a lovely lady. The nicest I've heard is the Mad King, a title I plan to pass from me to myself for the coming centuries. Wow! Hi! However, my mortal mother named me Darian. Wow, that's actually a unique name. Darian? Like the durian? Now, may I have your hand? Okay, I don't really trust him to hold my hand because what if he like makes me like eternal suffering forever? Like, you know? Okay, whatever. Sorry, my mother told me not to offer my hand to strangers or any other parts of me, sir. Your highness. Okay. He bursts into genuine booming laughter. Wow, I made him laugh. Your mother was truly a wise woman. Thank you. A masterful stroke of self-preservation I haven't been rebuffed so delightfully in, well, at least a century. Others prefer to use enchanted swords and pitchforks. They forget that words can wound too. But perhaps I can still melt your heart. I have an eternity for that, literally. Well, I don't. I'm immortal. May I know your name? Wait, this is funny. This is funny. My name is Lynn. I'm also the queen, the queen of the gas station. This one is funny. My name is Lynn, sir. I don't want this submissive roleplay. Refuse to reveal my true name. Demons always do terrible things with them. Shut the fuck up. Like, my name is Lynn, but my friends call me Big D, or they would if I had it. This fucking loser. A queen, your majesty. Yes, yes, I'm a queen. Forgive my outrageous ignorance. I did not recognize the sovereign? I don't know. Of this noble kingdom of oil and discounted juicy drinks. I humbly bow before you, your majesty of the midnight shift. Sorry I didn't send envoys ahead. I grant you my royal pardon. A pardon from the lips of the queen herself. I love it. I love this roleplay. Hello. How many wounded souls rejoices? I am redeemed, reborn in the light of your mercy. This act of mercy will be sung by the poets of my realm, to those who can still rhyme, rather than just wallow in alcoholic oblivion. You know, my company has an especially interesting effect on the artistic types, as I've discovered. Nothing surprising there. It seems I've gone mad myself, or halfway there. Maybe it happened around the time I decided to become an artist. I am indeed exchanging silly jokes with some mysterious 2D entity as if it's nothing. Maybe I just adapt to this new profession really quickly. Or perhaps I had a stash of nerves of steel in a bag. I can't shake the feeling though, that this clown is about to explode himself or blow me up. I feel like my brain is turning to jelly. Okay, let's get to the point. I've been talking for 5 minutes, but it feels like an eternity. And I've got to somehow squeeze a tip out of this guy and not lose my mind. Two utterly impossible tasks when dealing with a regular person, let alone another cosmetic entity. Cosmetic? Cosmic. Oh my god, guys. My life is full of makeup that I actually thought cosmetic, and it's not cosmic. What the hell? So let's finally get to the purpose of my visit. Finally, it's completely unknown to me. Oh, for crying out loud. There's nothing interesting in the assortment of this pathetic shack except for you, so I'm buying your time. Let's have dinner. I'm sure you must be hungry. Oh, he's really tempting me, huh? He's really tempting me. Wait guys, I'm gonna message my boyfriend that I am located here. Oh my god guys, patapos my boyfriend is about to finish his ER trip. Okay, let's play. Let's have dinner. Oh no. Allow me to create a more pleasant atmosphere for us. Oh my god, he's a fucking jester. He's gonna like transport me somewhere. I'm shivering from a gust of icy wind. He just teleported half of my gas station to a radioactive dump. Or a radioactive dump to my gas station. And the jar is gone. My freaking jar. You really don't like change, do you? But life is ever changing. Life is not a stone, my dear. Life is water. Oh my god, I'm gonna take a picture of this. Way too good. But since you don't like this current, so be it. Let me find something less populated with mutants. Praise the goat mother? I can't go long without familiar landscapes. Already ruined lands make me melancholic because all the fun has happened without me. Disgusting. Allow me. Wow. This is something seemingly less radioactive. Amazingly, I haven't thrown up yet. It feels like I've been flushed twice through an interdimensional toilet. Okay, what a comparison. I clear my throat. Literally, I just did. Seems like I'm sitting at a table. Hello. Much better, wouldn't you agree? Couldn't be better. Bob, look at me. Okay, I'm gonna pick this one. Words of a true poet, Lynn. My two favorite categories strange and beautiful. Yeah, me too. This place is much more than home. It's my cage, my greatest canvas for creativity. Every ugly tree, every mad toad, every eye bearing mushroom, it's all a piece of me. A marvelous place. Except when the rocks grow legs and start running. What do you mean? Including those that people make their homes out of. Cement. And now you're part of this place too. Isn't it wonderful? Okay, I didn't really consent to being part of this place. I'm slowly getting used to the landscape. The fireflies here are quite charming. I can tell. But it'll be better without that frog with a human face. The frog notices me too. I find him cute. It lets out a sad croak and then looks at me with an expression of deep existential despair. Who is that? That's Lore, one of the brave souls who dared to challenge my authority. My dear friend, who once walked the path of adventure. However, he didn't foresee the possibility of being turned into a frog on a whim. He even tried to wield the sword with his tiny froggy legs. Fought to the end, a true warrior. Now, however, his foes are mosquitoes and bigger frogs. So he ate his foes because frogs eat mosquitoes? Tell me, dear, does he bother you? His little existential froggy crisis, I mean, is it ruining the ambience? No. It's funny. He looks at me with an interested expression. No, I want him to watch, yeah. Watch life pass him by? See us enjoy a dinner of more than just mosquitoes and swamp water? Maybe I am cruel. What is wrong with me? My dear, you are a treasure trove of delightfully dark little surprises. So dinner. I'm sure you must be starving. Bro, I've been here for so long. Like we've had this conversation for so long now. Like, excuse me? This is what I'm gonna do. Have dates with um interdimensional beings? Traveling between realities must be exhausting. What do you mean? I don't travel not between realities. This looks strange, but it smells delicious. Meat with honey? I wanna try. Then next to the meat, a purple soup, possibly made from a less fortunate cashier. Whether the food is poisoned or not, if I refuse, His Highness might turn me into a frog too. So I pick up a fork from the table. And this is the most delicious thing I've ever tasted. It's 100 times better than these cheap instant noodles I usually buy in supermarkets. Even the fact that I'm currently in some other universe surprisingly doesn't seem to harm my appetite. It seems you enjoy our cuisine. The chefs have always managed to cook well. On those occasions when I noticed it, I assure you, you won't regret this dinner. At least, not for the first hour after the meal. What do you mean? Why? What a delightfully pointless question, even by my standards. Oh, sorry, I guess. I do it because I can. I do it because the alternative of crushing gray, predictable boredom. Boredom, boredom, boredom. Oh my god. I remember that one TikTok audio where it says, "Why are you so fast? How'd you did it?" How I did it? I'm fast and you're slow. That's how I did it. I remember that one audio, bro. I brought you here, Lynn, because of the first time in a very, very long time, you are not boring. What do you mean? Oh my god, they're making the I'm special card again. Because you fear me less than my subjects do, and you can hold a meaningful, I but questionable conversation, unlike my subjects. I always see this word everywhere. I need to search it up because I don't know the meaning of it. Believe me, when your interlocutor's mind is as sturdy as wet paper, all the joy of conversation quickly evaporates. Maybe it's because you keep turning them into animals. That's exactly what I mean, my dear. What an amazingly insightful observation. You are a thorn in my sinful side. However, it's only a punishment for the most audacious ones. A ruler, both god and monster, but no one ever wants to see the other side. And that's truly a pity. What if it's as good as the first side? Or conversely, terrifying? It would be so exciting to find out. I poke at the food with my fork and watch the peculiar scenery from the corner of my eye. A silence hangs between us that might even be called cozy, where under my heavy narcotics. I'm gonna save this one. What's your favorite animals? Glad you asked. It's right here on our plate. Just kidding. But I do need some time to think. Let's see. The riding flea has its own charms. Very disgusting ones. Carnivorous butterflies are beautiful, but they're dumb and noisy. And as we know, only what's empty inside makes a noise. Or what's in my head. It's always ringing. I think it's a dog. Oh my god, guys, the people beside me are so loud. Bro, I think it's a dog. It loves its owner with all its heart, whether they're a saint or a serial killer, and doesn't notice the difference. Bro, that is the lamest, dumbest answer you could ever give me. That's literally a dumb answer, bro. Basic ass answer. What the fuck do you mean? A dog? Why didn't I just ask you dog or cat? Like, excuse me, that was a bad fucking answer, dude. It loves its owner. It lives in a constant joyful state of blissful ignorance and misplaced enthusiasm. A creature that finds endless joy in the utterly meaningless. It's it's truly inspiring. Dogs are just the jesters of the animal world, and I adore them for it. Especially the small wrinkly ones. Oh, the white crusty dogs. And what about you? Oh, you know me so well. You know me so well. Oh, indeed. They are the true rulers of this reality, tiny, furry gods of apathy and disdain, and we are their obedient, foolish caretakers. But I've been lucky enough to escape their tyranny, and instead enjoy my own, and feed those around me. I return to my meal, and just as I chew another bite, I hear His Highness' voice. By the way, how does the meat taste? Is the human flesh tender enough? Fuck. My fork freezes halfway. Why is there human flesh on my plate? Yes, thank you, quite tender. Now this is the one I had the other visitor. Okay, let me let me do this one. This is funny. I meet his gaze. Wait, why is he shocked, bro? Slowly, with all authority, place a piece of meat in my mouth and begin to chew without breaking eye contact. I can't remember ever seeing someone so shocked in my life. His mad grin vanishes, his eyes widen, and his own fork freezes halfway to his mouth. For one precious, glorious, sweet moment, the Lord of Chaos is completely and utterly baffled. My dear, you are a true treasure. We're moving like we're on again right now. Guys, I just watched Bulak, that's why I'm like obsessed. You didn't just call my bluff. You raised the stakes to the sky. No, no, it's certainly not human. It's just venison. As far as I can tell by taste, not very intelligent. It's definitely not Timmy, our carpenter, who unexpectedly disappeared near the large kitchen cauldron, perfectly sized to fit in it. Definitely not. I've personally issued several decrees related to cannibalism, perhaps even concerning its prohibition. Prohibition. Wait, no. Prohibition? Prohibition. Oh, bro, I know how to fucking say this word, but I keep on forgetting. But that's beside the point. Okay, literal. I rarely have visitors, and I'd like to tell you about other interesting guests. After all, it's the most fascinating thing I can share with you. For a place where mushrooms with eyes grow, it can be incredibly dull here. Shadows in the clearing thicken and stare. They detach from the gnarled trees, rising up from the ground like black ink, and spread across the wall. Dancing and intertwining, they prepare to perform at their master's whim. Behold this incredibly crooked castle, my dear. Crooked to the point of absurdity, sadly, in reality, its curves look far more aesthetic, but give the creators some leeway for expressiveness. Many brave and not so bright souls have tried to conquer this terrifying, dark, eerie, crooked castle, so many that it became even more crooked. You see, the dreadful monster living there never liked it being distracted from its important duties. Terribly important duties like having long, deep conversation with its own reflection or concocting recipes with raisins. They're just using random words now. What the hell? Real. Yes, you do understand. There are real horror, aren't they? Tiny shriveled bits of deception. They pretend to be sweet, but they are just made to ruin. They ruin lovely cookies, ruin family photos. They have no place in civilized society. Oh, how I understand them. The monster was a tyrant, a menace. He sowed chaos and disorder, mostly on purpose. He had countless opportunities for creativity and wasn't afraid to use them. He made some people believe they were pigeons and others that they were cranes. He wouldn't allow his best servants to have windows, fearing that the moon and both suns would get envious and would want to take them away, and he demanded they seal the gaps in the doors well. He locked wizards who came to him for magical gifts in a giant laboratory and promised them power if they invented a kettle that could boil everything except water. Invented? Oh, they did much more. After 11 years of failed prototypes, a few explosions, and chemicals running away on their own legs, they succeeded. The kettle could boil even bright memories, but not water. Water would instantly freeze, explode, and file for a divorce? What a fucking metaphor. Wait, metaphor? Anog Analogy? No, I don't know, bro. I immediately rewarded them with a new invention idea, a cup with a sealed top and without a bottom. Let's see how they handle that. But I digress. But behold, a ray of light in the dark kingdom, the first hero, Sir Laura, Lorray, the righteous in all his clanging, self-important glory. Oh my god, back. He took a knee to rest briefly because the weight of his righteousness was bad for the health of his poor back. Following rumors spread by the same monster, he fought his way through the monster's loyal subjects to, by the way, where did he even find them? Most of my subjects are too busy contemplating the color of suspenders for their suspenders or lamenting their fate. I cherish them in their imperfection. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They were probably the most restless of them. Every story needs minions. In any case, our hero descended into the Grotto of Despair. The Grotto of Tentacles? Imagine the most sinister name you can conjure. Me. Oh, but if they could see you now, you're at a royal audience. They would be proud of you. No, actually, they wouldn't be proud if they got to know me better. But in that case, it's good too. You won't be alone under the weight of their disappointment. But let's not get sidetracked. Into the grotto of your parents' disappointment and you, our hero descended to retrieve an artifact capable of defeating the Monster King. Wait, they left, guys. I'm waiting for my boyfriend right now. The Ring of Incredible Power, a bit shoddily crafted, but I assure you, it looks more aesthetic in real life. However, the brave knight didn't know that the incredible power of the ring lay on its 440 pounds of weight. Wait, LBS? Isn't that pounds? Wait, I need to drink water. That was its only magical property. Okay, guys, I drink water. The only incredible thing about this ring was its incredible stupidity and uselessness. Oh wow. The realization that he had spent weeks of his life on a divinely heavy paperweight and the sudden crushing thought that he should have become a baker instead of a hero just to get some sleep. Well, it broke his poor noble mind. Not that this mind was ever intended for serious burdens. So the knight perished. But then along came Elmer Eagle Eye. They say he earned his nickname by escaping from an enemy fortress. On the third day of his captivity, he noticed that his prison cell was lacking the fourth wall. An archer? Archer? Or acre? No. Acre. Whatever. Of legendary skill, he who tried to kill me with the precious shot constantly during breakfast, while bathing, at balls, during sleep, and even while I was devising a plan to get rid of him. The audacity! I hate just killing them. Turning them into madmen is much more fun. And I bestowed a little curse upon the elf as well. I made it so that every time he drew his bowstring, he'd hear the most annoying melody to his ears. Elmer was a terrible racist. He hated dwarves. So naturally, the melody became the national anthem of the dwarves, played in a loop by a bagpipe orchestra. The pure rage it provoked derailed his aim every time. This is so fucking funny, bro. Like, what the fuck do you mean? This is unserious as fuck. Well, because he's a jester, so he makes silly pranks, alright? Eventually, he stormed the castle, dropping his bow, and begged for a job at my court in exchange for changing the song to anything else. He was desperate, and I was a villain. Everything aligned incredibly well. Now he's my royal huntsman. The dwarf march is replaced with a lively elven sea shanty, and let no one dare accuse me of being callous and heartless. Now he has a salary, good food, clothing, entertainment, and a full guarantee of non-dismemberment. I need to make a deal with him. Lynn, where were you before? Where's odes and comparisons to long stalactites? What the fuck is that? Endless rhymed verses about the shine of a beloved's beard. It's a refined devilish thing. Why didn't I think of it myself? To torment a man not with sounds of war and patriotism, but with the clumsy, heartfelt caterwauling of a species he despises, turning a love song into an instrument of pure, heart-wrenching agony. Brilliant! Well, I'll steal your idea for the future. And finally, the witch, in a classic giant hat under which you could easily fit another witch. Wait, refs. Let me start this. Um. Okay, I'm fine. She tried a different approach, seduction. She attempted to charm me, to gain my trust, to become my spouse. A fatal miscalculation. She didn't consider the fact that I never trusted big hats or people, especially when both come hand in hand. And those who wear suspenders and a belt at the same time. What? Suspenders and a belt at the same time? That is that is just illegal in fashion, bro. A person who doesn't even trust their own pants certainly doesn't earn the trust of His Highness. Then again, I don't trust His Highness either. I don't trust myself, especially the left side of my brain, especially on Thursdays. But back to hats. Okay, what happens during Thursdays? Like, I hate big hats. If they're ugly, yeah. You are my kindred spirit. Those hats are pretentious, so self assured. They block the view, get stuck in doorways, and always hint that the wearer is compensating or for something. Usually, lack of magical talent or a pitiful personality. And that's on a good day. You, my dear Lynn, have impeccable taste in headwear and, consequently, in everything else. It's a scientifically proven fact. Meanwhile, the witch was quite overt in her murderous intentions, jingling with all her concealed weapons. Why does a witch need so many hidden blades? She must have been very bad at witchery. That's fucking funny. In any case, she now resides in my dungeon, and you see, I haven't decided what to do with her yet. Her fate is a blank slate, a story yet to be written, so I offer you the pen. I simply adore random choices. Give me yours, Lynn. What punishment befits her? What? Does he really want me to decide what to do with a real person? Can I even save her? And does it matter what I choose? Everything here follows his whims anyway. But as long as I play the circus monkey, I have a chance to get out of here alive. Maybe I should just entertain him. Damn, what should I do? I think the craziest thing would be to spare her. No one would expect that. Turn her into a hat, the small one. First is this one's funny. It was first inside of your fate. The one who lived by a big hat shall become a small hat. The irony is absurd, so absurd, it's beautiful. So be it. Let her be a small cap of eternal regret. She tried to get into my head, and now she can barely cover it. Oh, that's funny as fuck. A brilliant sentence. You told me the monster itself, so what is the end of the tale? Dear, who cares about these monsters anyway? How eloquent. Alright, I must admit, this will be my first performance like this. Darian shows a bit bewildered, it seems. Allow me to just toss my hand up and see how it lands. You see, the monster was originally much more modest and less majestic, but we all have to start somewhere, right? Then my head suddenly became a bit crowded. First whispers and then arguments, then full fledged discussions that had to be participated in and involved inanimate objects. Guests in ajar doors, closets, even in cookie jars, every container a potential foe, and I was surrounded by containers. To be fair, sometimes they told funny stories. But why was I afflicted with this curse? Pondering it drives me mad, even more so. It seems the question is meant for me. Such a harsh punishment for a simple character flaw like arrogance. If that were the case, all kings, nobles, and egotistical merchants in history would be painting the walls with. Pardon me, I can't finish that in front of a lady. In any case, there wouldn't be enough walls for anyone. Okay, I don't really understand that one. Sorry. My affliction is much more mundane and far less deserved, which makes it all more amusing. It's all about rotten blood, too pure, I beg your pardon. My great grandfather issued a decree forbidding death from old age. and a distant aunt believed a colony of sentient mold was living in her walls, claiming her inheritance. But I always thought that I would be spared this fate. I had to be temporarily isolated to avoid embarrassing guests at royal balls with their young prince pointing at noble lords and saying, "Haha, the gnomes finally got out from under my bed." What a misfortune for the entire family, except for those in line for the throne before me. My death would have solved many problems for my family, and indeed, many of my own problems too. I made a decision. We made it, to be precise. There was already a whole council of us by then. I need water. However, chaos had other plans. A god, a goddess, a cosmic clerical error. I don't know, something ancient and terribly bored found itself a new source of entertainment. It offered me a throne, my own corner of reality to rule, where the fragments of my mind would become the laws of the land. No more restrictions or pants were my subjects, if I wished. My subjects at first they disagreed, but then they came to terms, or their minds changed to fit the new realities. And here I am. A dramatic silence ensues. Perhaps I am the first being to hear this story in the centuries of his existence. I must choose my next words carefully. Oh, don't waste your sympathy on me or them. Many of them are awful people, though some are quite decent. Not you, Jerome. You're the worst. A crooked hole in the pie. But that's like feeling sorry for an earthquake anyway, or rising food prices. Hey, let's have a quiet chuckle. Do you really sympathize with someone who dragged you into his dimension to tell you silly stories and feed you purple goo? People never cease to amaze me. Oh my god, I'm gonna touch his hand. Following a strange impulse, I reach out his hands for a second. His gaze slowly follows my movement, lowering to our hands. This time, no commentary. Instead, his thumb begins to trace patterns on the back of my hand with surprising tenderness. The shadows finally dissolved into nothingness. I just turned a living being into a hat, or rather became the catalyst for it. I wonder what kind of nightmares are warranted in such a case. I'm afraid royal duties await me. Our time is up. I shall send you back, Lynn. No, no, baby, no. I rise from my chair. Oh my, oh my god, bro. I'm actually going mad. And suddenly I feel him pressed against my back. Excuse me. Why am I feeling something on my back? One of his hands grips me just above the crook of my elbow, while the other gently rests under my chin, tilting my head back until my ear is just a couple of centimeters from his lips. Hello. Hello. But don't think for a second that this is goodbye. It is merely an overture. His voice, usually so mocking and calm, now sounds eerily sinister. A cold tongue lightly strokes the line of my jaw. Hello? Hello? Tried to suppress a shiver. You were a very interesting, incredible, curious guest. Possibly the most curious one I've had in centuries. And I found that I don't want our acquaintance to end here. It's terribly unfair that you've learned a couple of my secrets and revealed so few of yours, isn't it? Yeah, maybe next time. Maybe take me to a private place next time. I can't tell whether he's flirting or threatening, both perhaps. A bird trapped in a cage of bills, failures, and endless anxiety. How high could you fly once the cage is open? Oh my god, are you fucking with me? I'm gonna take a picture of this man, just go dead. Man, you're go dead. Your shift will end, the sun will rise, and you'll want to head home, perhaps on something more elegant than a bus, maybe in a carriage of polished bones. We'll meet again, Len, very, very soon, and next time, I won't let you go so quickly. Fuck! 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 I squeeze my eyes shut. No, this is just a dream, bro. That bitch better give me a tip. Bitch, oh my god. gesture better give me $100 fucking right now. The light is blinding, even with my eyes closed. So unusual after all this darkness. The jar is full of money. It was all worth it. Yes. Yes. Oh my god. Greetings, organism. How is your work progressing? I see the first transaction was successful. Acceptable. This still doesn't save you from the threat of cleaning a sanitary facilities, but it's a wonderful starting point for your entire tiny life. Where is the fucking tie attached to? Even more than successful, the client tried to fill the entire station with money, probably due to extreme affection for your organism. Yay! Unfortunately, the terms of the intergalactic treaty do not allow such actions, tips exceeding the amount set by the council by approximately percent were disintegrated to my regret as well. So a mad god from another world likes me. In some sense, it's possibly worse than not being liked at all. And the very first client in another dimension turned me into a cash register. Interdimensional travel is an unconventional interaction with a client, but if it positively affects the profit per minute ratio, then it is within acceptable limits, especially if the client paid for the attempted transmutation or its consequences. Then there's nothing to worry about. I urge you to relax your muscles, organism. Continue working. I am experiencing a positive emotional reaction. Oh, I absolutely cannot tell. I am proud of you, and I will be even prouder if you acquire even more currency. Goodbye, Mr. Manager. Your candle was showing particularly beautiful at this time of day. Your comment regarding the shine of my appendages is noted, organism. The secret of is a meticulous resume? Re- resume? I don't know. Of polishing them with void babe oak slime. Goodbye. He slaps across the floor to his office. As soon as Bob's rhythmic wet slaps fade away, a deep silence descends on the station. One more immense forest lining on a purple goo with a mad god. A god who liked me so much that he offered me a ride back to his world in a carriage made of bones. The next moment, I'm being praised by a multi-eyed tentacle monster. Maybe these are all just my deathbed hallucinations. I'm an adrenaline junkie, disgusting, and I have to deal with that too. In the midst of my contemplation, terrifying sounds emanate from my boss's office. And fair bills, unacceptably large numbers. Of course, what else could upset him so much if not that? Real. I'm gonna drink water, wait. Steps, another visitor. This one decided to come in through the door for a change. Oh, hello? Serial killer? Wait, I'm gonna sit properly. He seems unwell. I hope he doesn't knock over my shelves of shampoo with jojoba oil and delicate lilies on his way. He seems drunk. Oh, hello, 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 baby. Okay, whatever. He's a fucking daddy, bro. Is he a werewolf or something? Werewolves probably don't look like that. Just saying. He's not just unwell, he looks like hell. Literally, all the skin on the left side is torn off from his jaw to his temple. Hello, hello. I swallow nervously. What kind of meat grinder has this guy been through? He looks like someone who could rip me apart if he doesn't like what he hears. I need to be careful if I don't want to become the next victim. You look like the Terminator at the end of the second movie, buddy. The Terminator just wrecked my entire floor. How's life, sir? Well, it's hard to imagine how the other fighter looks. Well, when will the Lord take my sinful soul? Let me see this one. Plus a girl and raspy laugh. You don't want to know what the other fighter looks like. Yes, I picked the right one. I'm just go with my words. Honestly, I really don't want to know. My inner archive labeled I don't want to know this is at risk of bursting from overflow tonight. Words clearly come to him with great difficulty, which is probably not surprising for a man without half a face. He clears his throat, but that doesn't help much. I need blood. Oh, mine is not available. I'm sorry. Oh. He tried to smile. It would be charming if you still had all the necessary muscles for that. Now it will haunt me in my nightmares, among other things. The client pauses again briefly to clear his throat. This one. If you don't stop annoying me, no fucking transfusion will help you. Oh my god. He suddenly leans forward, boring into me with his remaining eye. Bro, I did not pick that shit. I did not pick that shit, bro. What do you mean? I picked the. We have. We don't have IV strips. We just have Junior. Like, bro, I picked the fucking good option. What the fuck is wrong with this? What the hell? I did not fucking torment this dude, bro. What the hell? Okay, whatever. Whatever. Go and find me some goddamn blood. Okay. Strange pressure builds in my head and the edges of my vision blur. An unyielding command blossoms in the center of my mind. I don't know why, but I feel an incredibly strong urge to find blood right now. Oh my god, he has commands on, bro. He has commands on. I'm being mind controlled. My client is covered in blood but still hungry. Maybe he fought with something inedible. Or is it his own? I found myself in a storeroom. A tangled labyrinth of shelves reaching up to the ceiling, stuffed with boxes, crates, and mysterious cans. In the corner, something rustled and snorted suspiciously. So where could the blood be? I need to think fast. He's not going to wait forever. Right now, I'm at the very beginning of this crazy place. The signs are driving me insane. I really hope my manager will eventually learn English properly. I'm surrounded by pure madness of anxious packaging, and even in front of the department entrances, there's some baby food for cyborgs piled up. I'm frantically trying to decipher the crooked inscriptions. In front of me are sections with food for mouth. Here are the endless shelves of drinks, next to Coca-Cola or bottles labeled liquid regret or primordial broth, now with nucleotides. Cans labeled Brapsy, vodka, Solneco. I'd love to meet the person and come up with these names. I check each shelf, pushing aside cans of essence of shits and giggles, but find nothing resembling blood. The closest thing is liquid hematogen, hematogen, in a giant wooden container. It smells worse than it looks. I go back. I hear knocking. It's the dry, rhythmic tapping of knuckles on a laminated countertop. It's not loud, but persistent and full of irritation. In front of me are sections with food warm out. In the coldest corner of the store, large freezers, chests, and refrigerators with glass doors are covered in frost. Next to the frozen pizza are gremlin cryo capsules, and among the buckets of ice cream, you can find flavors like minty tritium and liquid family. Oh my god, a huge freezer chamber, matter of lesser life forms, spare parts of human organisms, product of animal fauna exploitation with fruit bases. What the fuck? Bingo, there's animal blood here. Take the bag labeled oink oink oink. Take the delicious fat rat. 30. Running across the floor. Perhaps it's not good to feed him animal blood. Looking for another option. Well, let's give him animal blood. I grab a hefty plastic bag filled with dark, thick liquid. I hope it's especially nutritious, exquisite blood from pig that loved truffles. But more likely, it enjoyed rolling in the mud. Perhaps that gives its blood a special hint of zest. Or parasites. Either way, the pig and I are leaving. He abruptly lifts his head as I approach. You could have hurried up, he grumbled. But his tone reveals that he feels relief. The search could have taken even longer. Now hand over that damn blood. He just steers into my oink oink with his teeth, no glass or pinky out. Blood trickles down his chin, staining the already beleaguered floor as he swallows. I watch the whole scene with a Pepe the Frog face. Oh my god, Pepe the Frog is actually so iconic and it's so old now. I think decades old. And that's the first time I've heard his name again. But I think he's been like relived because someone was using his puppet on Omegle or some shit like that. Don't like. You could have found something better than this crap. Yeah, great. What else will be on the menu? Frog blood or maybe opossum blood? Make me a cocktail in advance. I'm not just mixing blood in there for you, you picky eater. Alright, to hell with it. Better than nothing. I'm going to rinse off. Might as well wash my mouth too. While he's not here, I have a perfect opportunity to wipe away the blood stain. I'm just scrubbing a pool of blood on my first day of work. An interesting story for Reddit. A wonderful tale. I'm doing just fine. Nobody has eaten me. Oh, hello. Oh my god, he has another eye now. Did he heal because he drank blood? Hello. He's so fucking good looking, bro. The thick fucking brows. Okay, wait, I'm gonna drink water. He's looking so much fresher with the second half of his face, although his expression still resembles that of a constipated owl. Wow. What a unique insult. I'll just stand here for a while, okay? Take a little break. Besides, there's nobody here with you right now. And just so you know, if you try to contact the werewolves, I'll take your head and crush it like a walnut. Okay, when did the fuck did he say his name's David and why do I know it? Also, he's a vampire. Of course he is. Why did I think he's a werewolf? Like, I'm David, by the way, a vampire. As you may have already guessed. What an incredible, interesting way to start an acquaintance, especially that part about the walnut. Okay, Lynn, I knew a Lynn once. She used to trade kidneys in Venice Beach. Oh my god, Venice Beach. That one Lana Del Rey song. She was a good girl until she got packed up. He's trying to provoke me, deliberately sharing the dirty details of his life to see how uncomfortable I can get. Supposed to. Wow, I don't know how I'll survive this. Probably harder to survive this than working in this place. He struck a nerve. No offense, but I think I know every place in this city where you can buy a kidney. It's doubly crappy that I don't need them anymore. Unless I want to sell them too. Now I have a vampire here, and he's regenerating. Wonderful. The main thing is to not accidentally blurt out something wrong. I need to be friendly. Let's chuckle. The guy clearly expects people to be afraid of him. He might have looked lost when he first arrived there, but now seeing my fear, he obviously feels right at home. It's not over yet. Although you're not. You're too bony. And I'm sure you love to eat all that cheap crap. Like instant noodles. People like that. Their blood's just not tasty. Only if there's something more interesting in that blood. They crunch on my teeth. Even cheap liquor is better. At least it warms you up and disinfects. It warms the body and soul. Vampires can be alcoholics, another astonishing discovery for my shelf of amazing revelations, none of which I wanted to make. David slightly grimaces as he moves his hand. Damn, what? Probably not all the wounds have healed completely, but does being a vampire doctor fall under my duties? I think Bob said it was mandatory. He looks at me skeptically. The offer of help is probably so foreign and unexpected to him that it leaves him momentarily dumbfounded. You what? You want to play nurse? A flicker of confusion is replaced by something more intense. It's just a couple of scratches and a little piece of ass that will grow back on its own. I'm fine. Really? And how am I supposed to clean with a fork? And why such a ridiculous amount of time? Is there that much cosmic crap in there? His voice carries a clear mockery. He's about to say something even more sarcastic when suddenly Bob has returned to his accounts. The sound he makes still fill my soul with dread. Probably not just mine. Finally, the forks and words break through the last layer of his defenses. Alright, I spent my whole life in complete crap. I don't want to spend the next 2 millennia there, too. Damn you, go ahead. Get out your brand aids with Dr. Chocola, or whatever you're selling. Hello, 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 hello. David sheds his jacket, shirt, and t-shirt, then settles onto a squeaky stool next to the counter. He's about to face a serious trial, staying in a vulnerable position for a few minutes. For some reason, cruel fate hasn't made him claw-proof. He certainly looks like he was just thrown into a blender. Judging by those bullet scars, he has quite an incredible, interesting past. Or maybe he was attacked by werewolf cowboys with guns. Most likely the former. By the way, I didn't know that corpses have doctors too. I thought the only doctor available is to me now is the coroner. I'm I'm rummaging through the necromancy kit that was sitting under the counter. It's heavily military style metal box with a faded label reading kit for alternatively living organisms. Inside, besides standard bandages, there are some strange items, silver tweezers, vials of thick, glowing liquid, additional fingers, and of course, an instruction manual, a cheap laminated brochure stained with something that looks like coffee. In the instructions, the first point states determine whether you are dealing with a zombie as your alternatively living subject if they ever wanted to eat someone's brain. What what subject? Fuck, I'm not, not a subject. It seems I'm offending his vampire feelings. Let's out an annoyed sigh. For the umpteenth time today. Your brain, definitely not. Not smart enough to understand that vampires don't eat brains. Do you remember Dracula eating brains? No? Did he rise from his coffin and say, "What a lovely evening," and then I go munch on some brains? Stop looking at me like that. I'm not a goddamn zombie. I'm a vampire and not even a chupibara. Chupacabra. Pala. Zombies are stupid. They can't even talk. They just grunt and growl. I don't get why that's not in your necrotherapist's guide. Do you like brains? Tasty brains? Oh, really? Any zombie would say that. Come on, for a zombie you're too rosy and not rotting. And by the way, I'm not rotting either, which once again proves that I'm not a damn zombie. Now let's get back to the treating my lupus. I still glance at my visitor. I wonder if Rebels would just claw him up or might just kill someone too. My instincts something out of the Stone Age suggests that he could have. The guy has killer's gaze. You see someone like him in an alley, your hand automatically reaches for your wallet and phone. Legit. I offer my eyes next point. Let's establish the nature of the injuries. What kind of wounds could werewolves leave? Here's glossy, a bit of sour, this one is tempting, but I'm gonna do this one. This one. Guys, I don't want to read anymore. My throat can't handle it. He said it as if he didn't care, but I know better. I'm dying of laughter. He chuckles happily, trying to hide a glimmer of pride behind humor, but I won't be fooled. David is no longer just a wounded sucker, he's a true gladiator, having survived a battle with rabid beasts. Absolutely epic. I read through what medication I need and grab the regenerating extract for alternatively living life forms. Now all that's left is to apply the stuff. I dip my fingers in the jar and suddenly he grabs my hand. Do something wrong, I'll rip your tonsils out of your ass. Well, I suppose it's just a matter of experience, probably. And you, well, watch what you're doing or there will be consequences. Seems he just heard the best compliment of his life. Applies black glue on the wound. A puff of steam rises from the wound, and the air starts to smell like something is frying. It's probably very painful, but David remains calm. Not a single complaint, which is surprising. I hope it's not from your squid manager. Well, we all hope for that, buddy. My movement becomes slow and deliberate. I do everything cautiously, barely touching the skin around the wound, allowing him to get used to the sting. I can see the tense muscles on his back and shoulders relax slightly. He's still wound up, but relief is starting to wash over him. Naturally, no thank yous or pleases from him, but at least he's no longer threatening to do something to my ass every 5 seconds. I can think of a few things he can do with my ass. Okay, let's not. No, David, every noble knight needs someone to tend their souls after great battles. I'm talking about what knight? What battles? I fought in an alley stinking of urine against a bunch of dirty werewolves for territory on the outskirts of this god-forsaken city. They tore my pants, and I had to take a new pair off a junkie who was lying in a puddle nearby. What am I, a knight of what? The knight of torn pants? I get it. Wait, I don't understand whether you've completely lost your mind or you're just really brave. Since I died, this is not a threat to me. So, I'm only crap myself metaphorically. What? You don't shit or piss? The wonderful fact of biology. Finish up, surprising the ones really are healing. The scores won't beautify this man. Why are you doing all this? The conscious as is astonishingly serious though. He's driving me crazy. Even more than that clown from earlier, it seems. David is confused, and his system of beliefs action always equals benefit. I'm throwing a wrench into his flawless, long running mechanism. Guys, I miss my boyfriend. This is the most unconvincing lie I've ever heard in my life. There's his throat. Thank you. What? Am I hearing things? I thought he didn't know such words. I'm even afraid to breathe. So I don't care. I don't scare off this rare, exotic display of politeness. He says that word as if he's pronouncing it for the first time in his life. I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually the case. Oh, right, we're back. Just a couple more seconds and he's back in front of the counter. So the client is fed, clean, and healed. And yet he's still here, not putting any money on the counter, and the jar is lacking. I look at him. He's supposed to be full of energy, but instead he looks lost. David is deep in thought, in that dark, gloomy little place that occupies his mind. The flow of his thoughts is interrupted. David lets out an irritated sigh and looks at me as if I've shit my pants. No, damn it. I'm not gonna eat you. Cut that crap out. I'm curious about one thing. I haven't talked to a regular human in a long time. I wonder by regular human, does he mean extremely natural essence? I'm no matter whether we're leaving alone. Or does he mean my lack of criminal record and absence of drug or alcohol dependency? Or maybe he's looking for a perspective of an ordinary worker, a working class person, a gray collar. Does your face always look that funny when you're thinking about something? I don't even get a chance to respond to his jab before he follows up. Let's conduct an experiment. Suppose you're now a free vampire, able to go wherever you want, do whatever you want. Where would you go? David David looks at me expectantly. Well, no more tanning, no reflections in mirrors. If you were ugly before, it's actually a bonus, right? You can enter without an invitation. Garlic doesn't scare you either. Holy water is trickier, depends on the situation. The steak works, but piercing your chest would be quite the challenge. Piercing any part of you is quite a challenge, actually. Our skin is like steel, unless a particularly persistent werewolf comes along. Well, at least you can enter without an invitation. No need for unnecessary chit chat with people. David looks at me expectantly. A whole lot. We're practically a superhero league. I'm sure it never crossed your mind that in reality bloodsuckers can be way scarier than in sappy movies for girls. Looks like he's watched Twilight. Interesting. Some of us not only drink human blood but also capture people to experiment on them. Okay, let's not even get to this part. They turn human bodies into a real nightmare of flesh and bones. Dr. Morello couldn't even imagine. And there are vampire sorcerers who can rip your soul out of your body and make you work for them for eternity. Literally. Seems like I already have one of those sorcerers. His name is Bob. He's checking in my bills. There he is. I wonder what inner strength it took David not to flinch. And there are those who can make your head explode literally with just a glance. But not all of us are such wicked bastards. You don't even have to kill a person to eat. Just drink a little, instead of gorging yourself like a pig at the rough. At the Turah. Turah? But some don't care. They just drain all the blood and splash it everywhere. The forensics team is baffled why the person turned into a sprinkler before dying. He seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. I've got a decent list of what I can do. I'm not complaining. Imagine it, you never get tired. You can party all night long, fuck all night long. You're stronger than 10 thugs combined. Well, except for 10 werewolf thugs. That might take some effort. If you want to shrink down in 5 summer, you can turn into a tiny bat. Your reflexes become 100 times sharper. You feel everything, you see everything, and you can hear a rat piss a block away. Okay, Lord Lynn, that's just an idiom. You can ignore it if you want. All vampires will go and save. That was true. Do I look like a madman? It's time to say silent. He continues. And finally, you can make people do anything you want. Absolutely anything. And are you sure the last one is to your vampires and not because you're scared to beat them up? David lets out a sharp, raspy laugh. You're right. Most law-abiding citizens avoided me by 100 miles. It's a working strategy in most cases, but sometimes you need a simple approach, you know? This word subtle from this guy sounds almost comical. It's one thing to scare someone shitless. They give in just to avoid being harmed. It's another when they act with full confidence that it's what they want. They don't even realize they're just vampire pawns now. Yes, I think I get it. He pulled that trick on me too. David smiles, but this time the smile is strained. These are the words of someone stuck in a web of artificial connections and as-related threats. Fear and supernatural compulsion aren't the best foundation for a strong friendship. David, you're a creature stuck in a web of artificial connection. Jason lies. I can enchant friends for myself. Wonderful. I can make someone give me their wallet. Even if it's based on my ass, I don't care. If you're a bloodsucker, you'll live like this in no other way. In the snake pit, you won't make true friends. Vampires don't live in one big, beautiful house like in Twilight. They're like cowboys in the Wild West, constantly cutting and shooting each other. And blowing up houses. David mentioned Twilight again. Oh my god. I don't think I'm whining. It's actually great. Keeps you on your toes. You'll get used to it once you adjust. You already live in a big vampire house and happens to live in home. This world doesn't run in love. That doesn't happen. No vampire dormitories. David says this empathically. It's how people usually talk when they're trying to convince themselves. What the hell? My boyfriend literally joked me that they're in the car and they're gonna go home without me. What the hell? What is wrong with him? Oh, are you serious right now? David says this empath is trying to convince themselves. I'm sure deep down he dreams of a happy vampire family. He seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. Or they sure can, but they can't drink beer afterward. When I was just recently turned about 2 years ago, tried to eat spaghetti, not the smartest decision. I threw up farther than I could see, picking up blood and meatballs, left some graffiti and a bit of fans on the wall. The guy who cleaned it up probably thought a whole spaghetti monster exploded in the alley. I got it, exactly, I miss pizza. My buddy used to say you always have to sacrifice something. In our case, it's pizza. Sounds silly, of course, but in reality, it sucks. Still, you get used to it over time. I can see he's lying. David lives in spaghetti less hell. What kind of monster would doom someone to that? You can still order food delivery, by the way, just this time. Eat the delivery guy. He seems to enjoy talking about the November. Oh my god, there's so many questions, bro. Opens his mouth, ready to tell me off for mention something about butts again, but he stops himself with his thank you, seal their fragile friendship. I'll tell you, but it's probably not relevant. Well, it's nothing. I was a nobody. I was just surviving as everything went to hell. And like all these bastards born with a silver spoon up their ass. You ever see those happy American TV commercials? They sit at a table with a bowl of salad, smiling like idiots. They always have a dog. Well, that wasn't my case. My stepdad was a crazy guy who thought the best birthday gift was a smack on the head. He did teach me how to shoot properly, though. I left my family dumb early. It's really dumb, but I thought I'd share a band and become a rock star. But as they say, wish in one hand, shit in the other. See which one fills up faster. Oh my god, my eyes are all blurry now. At first, I worked wherever I could, but then found some guys to do some shady stuff with. There aren't many ways to make a living in the Los Angeles area. You can't exactly work the cash register, right? David jabs again, but without malice. Oh my god. I'm literally cold as fuck, like my nose is blocked. The antisocial environment made him resentful of the middle and upper classes, but it hasn't affected me yet. I wonder why. Sorry to bruise your pride, doll. I have nothing against cashiers, it's just not that job for me. There's a hint of doubt in his voice, as if he's not quite sure what job is for him and what isn't. Maybe he's actually making a good cash register or English teacher. He just missed out on having his own dog, a happy family, and a bowl of salad. That's it. That's the whole story. What about you? Oh lord, this might just make up something cool or just tell it like it is. Wow, and what Bible did you use? Oh no. 678 super killer, bro. Guys, they're gonna go here now. Oh, they're here. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye, guys. You didn't even try. There's no pro versions of super killer. Bye, guys.